The red light is blinking. All the lights are blinking. Fucking A. This is the holiday edition of 3 Men and a Babyface. No, we're kidding. Listen, guys, thanks for joining us as always. I am URI's Kaiser Soze, and as always, I'm joined by my man, Sonic Nerd, right to the right of me.
What's up? What's up?
Right below me, you see my man, Smooth B.
What's going on?
And as always, I got Neil Goldtanks, and I'm going to go ahead and shut all this shit off because I don't want to give everybody an epileptic seizure. But today we're talking Scalebound, and we got some horrible news this week. Well, depending on who you ask, horrible news. Because Scalebound has been canceled. Development has ceased to happen over at Microsoft. And some people are taking it worse than others. I'm actually pretty disappointed. And we're going to talk about it here at 3 Men and a Babyface. But listen, guys, before we get into that, let's set the foundation as we like to do so we're all working with the same information. How the hell did we get here? Why is this thing canceled? This is what I know about it. You guys correct me when I'm wrong. You guys jump in if you need to. But so Scalebound was in development for a few years here. In 2014, we saw it at E3, right? We saw it for the first time at E3. And here's what sucks is it was like one of the 4 games Xbox One was really showcasing.
Yeah.
So it's not happening. The game seems to have been in production. I actually YouTubed, and there's a lot of gameplay, like fair amount of gameplay that makes you think that this thing was close to being done. Here are the rumors that have been popping up in the past 6 months. We find out that, okay, this is too much. We find out that, first of all, some of the lead developers took a month off. For no good reason, they just decided that there was too much stress. They blamed it on Microsoft, saying that Microsoft was being very demanding, and it took a month off. We heard the same sort of thing from, like, the lead designer. Aside from that, this is made by Platinum Games, and if you guys remember, Platinum Games' president quit like a year ago for the same sort of reason, saying that it was like too demanding or something. The president of Platinum Games left, and that's the guy that's really been in really the head behind all the games that have made Platinum Games famous within the last 10 years. He's really the guy who should be credited with all that. So having said that, the president leaves, and a year and a half later it gets canceled. That might have something to do with it. We hear the developers are taking time off. Microsoft goes in there and says, "Where's our game? This isn't what we wanted. We cancel it." Now, this is big news because it's not like there's a lot on the plate for Microsoft this year. It's not. There's definitely not a lot when it comes to Japanese games and Japanese developers creating something for North Americans, for the Western Hemisphere, as a matter of fact. So I'm gonna start with my man right below me. Hey, Smooth, what do you feel? How do you feel about how did this hit you, man, when you found out about Scalebound being canceled, Microsoft?
It was pretty disappointing. That's one of the games I was looking forward to. And this really paints a bad picture for Microsoft as a whole for the rest of 2017. And I'm not sure that they'll be able to recover from this. I think this was probably their biggest exclusive coming out this year. You look at their
listen, before you tell me why, it sounds like you're going to tell me this is the beginning of the downfall. You were excited about this game. I was excited as well. Anybody else in here actually? Because, I mean, it's not a big deal if they cancel a game that nobody cares about. Right? We just sound Sony fanboys if that's the case. But did we actually care about this?
Oh my God!
Anybody here that was like,
this was my #1 most anticipated Xbox game since oh my God, probably like 2 E3s. You know,
Sonic is saying, "Oh my God!" I'm surprised because Sonic, you're the Sony guy, so you probably played more Japanese games than the other 3 of us. You weren't excited for this thing?
I was excited only because this was Platinum Games, and I really like Platinum. I enjoyed Bayonetta. I also enjoyed Metal Gear Revengeance, or whatever the hell it was called. I liked their games, and this one looked like it was the same like Platinum Silo quality that I'm used to. So I was excited for it.
All right, Smooth, go ahead and tell me, man, what do you think this is going to do? I'm going to step out for a second. Let people know.
So, when you look at the rest of the 2017 launch lineup, I mean, yes, Microsoft is going to get all the major multi-plats, but looking at the rest of the exclusive, you got Halo Wars 2, Crackdown 3, State of Decay 2, and Sea of Thieves. And that's it. Like, at this point, it's like, well, is there a reason to pick up an Xbox One? And thinking about some of the multi-plats, like Resident Evil 7, you know, a lot of people, some people have pegged it as Game of the Year already. It's not even out yet. But that game, you buy it on Xbox One, you also get it for PC, which is what we've seen before with a lot of the Microsoft exclusives. So it begs the question, why buy an Xbox One? Most of the major games from first party, second party, and now third party are going to be cross-buy. I can play these games on the PC. So what's my motivation to get it? And then going into Scorpio, I think Scorpio is pretty much like a parting gift to Microsoft fans, where it's like, hey, here's this console that's not really going to have the exclusive games. It's going to play your current games in 4K. So it's really just, again, for third parties.
Well, let me say this much.
So it's like, why are we going to get it? What's the point?
Well, we're kind of off topic because I want to stick to the scale-bound thing. But here's what I'll say about the Scorpio thing is, so not inside information whatsoever. But talking to the guy that works for Best Buy Rep or whatever, who was able to see, he played with the Sony, with the PS Pro. He was playing with it for months before I actually got to see it. And he talked about the Scorpio. And what he said, and he's been right about this so far, this was like almost a year ago. He told me, when you guys see the Pro, it's not going to be a big jump. It just plays 4K games, but the system will look the same. It's going to play the same games. It's not like you need to upgrade to the PS4 Pro. He said that's different than the Scorpio. He thought that the Scorpio was actually going to be like a step up, where there will be games that are specific to the the Scorpio. What I'm saying is, as where the PS4 Pro is just a better PS4, I think the Scorpio is going to become its own thing. I think it's going to be more than just a mid-cycle system. I don't think this is like the iPhone 7 Plus. See, but this is like the iPhone, or even the iPhone 7S. This is like the iPhone 8.
See, but that's kind of what they've been selling it as. They're like, hey, we're not going to splinter the user base. The same games will be able to play on it. So what you're saying is that
this will be the Xbox One S.
But guys, okay. But regarding Scalebound, I mean, let's take it a step back, because I think we're getting too far into that outlook topic. So, what are your thoughts on Scalebound? Why did it fail? I mean, Sonic. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Like,
okay, so all right, so I was disappointed first and foremost that this game got canceled, because, like I said, I really like Platinum Games as a studio. However, I think it's worth at least discussing the fact that Microsoft has tried in the past to appeal to a more Japanese, Eastern audience. We saw it with two major high-profile Japanese games. We saw it with games like Blue Dragon, which came out in the 360 early in its life cycle. Then a couple years later, you saw Lost Odyssey. But if you really examine those games, you look at Blue Dragon. Blue Dragon didn't sell all that well in Japan. It sold decently in the U.S., and then you look at Lost Odyssey, which sold decently in Japan, didn't sell all that well in the U.S. But all of these, when I look at the numbers of the amount that amount of copies that these games sold, it's really insignificant when you take into account the whole portfolio of the Xbox brand. And so, if this is a question, I've heard a lot of people say that this cancellation is bad for Microsoft. I don't think it does anything to Microsoft. I think the Xbox One, the Xbox 360, and the original Xbox is very much a Western console. If there are a bunch of games that are developed by Japanese developers that are exclusive to the Xbox brand and they fail, it does nothing, because they've never been able to penetrate that market. I think if anything, Scalebound.
I don't necessarily.
Let me finish this point. Scalebound was probably their last resort, their Hail Mary, so to speak, for this generation, for them to say, okay, let's try this game by a Japanese developer that is really hot right now. We're going to try to appeal to that, because it kind of looks like Final Fantasy 15 if you look at the trailers and the gameplay. So they're like, okay, let's create a game that has that kind of an appeal, open world, big monsters, RPG elements, and let's see if that works. And quite frankly, if this game launched, I don't think it would have sold particularly well in the U.S., nor would it have sold at all in the Japanese market. So this does absolutely nothing. This is kind of an asterisk in the whole timeline of the Xbox One. So this is kind of a no big deal for me in terms of how it affects them.
I don't know. I mean, I don't see this as catering to the Japanese market at all. I think this is trying to bring a Japanese game to the West. If you look, to me, Scalebound was the counterpart, was the Xbox version of Horizon Dawn. It was supposed to be an amazing game. It's been in the oven since 2013, maybe, right? So I feel like this was gonna be their new flagship, possibly even a new IP that is gonna be expanded on, But the problem is, I mean, look at that. 2013, 2014, we saw E3 demo. 2014, there was another, I think, demo. I think even 2015, there was like a TGS demo. But really, a game taking that much in development.
Yeah, but the impressions of ScaleGone weren't that great.
Oh, I don't know, man.
When the press got a hold of the game, they said, I mean, obviously frame rate wasn't perfect, but you take that with a grain of salt for a game that's in development. But it's like some people from the press, they played the game and go, it's okay, the fighting mechanics are all right, graphics leave a lot to be desired. It shows well on an E3 stage. It shows really well because there's scale.
But it's,
obviously, scale's in the title, but it's massive scale. But as far as a game, I don't even think this game would have reviewed very well, and I don't think that.
I don't know. I think that might be the Sony in you right now because in terms of the hype level, the hype level is the same kind of hype level when you saw Horizon Dawn and you saw that trailer. It was in terms.
No way.
You're trying to you're trying to put too much stock in graphics in demos that they're showing. You know, when it's really the IP, they're selling you on the IP, on all the things that you can do. I mean, for God's sakes, I think in the first trailer, the dude flies on a dragon. I mean, the dragon is like is walking with him, and he fights with the dragon. I think
that's cool, but that if the people that played the game said they weren't that impressed with it, that's not the Sony in me. That's the fact. That's the fact. They weren't impressed with it. They were impressed by the scale, but they weren't impressed by the core gameplay experience. So that leads me to believe that either the game just when they showed it wasn't up to par, and they kind of rushed something out of the door to show, hey, we're still working on it. And I think. I don't think Microsoft was doing a good enough job in QA to make sure that this was a great game.
Are we seeing the same thing? Did you see the water monster and the water battle?
I saw it. I think it looked good.
It looked amazing.
I'm what people played the people that played the game did not think it was that. You know the comparison that I heard on I think it was Kotaku or one of those blogs, that the game reminded them of ReCore, in the sense that it felt like a lower budget, solid title.
Wow. I feel like you were fishing for bad news, because when somebody sees that demo, I've seen that demo repeatedly, and it still amazes me because it looks, honestly, when I see the demo, I say, wow, I thought the game was finished. They had like a 20 to 30 minute demo. Like a whole battle.
You're using the argument. You're using me. You're talking about me as a Sony pony, only impressed with graphics. Yet the only ammunition that you have is about the graphics. I'm going by gameplay. I'm going by what people who have played the game.
You just saw the same kind of gameplay. What are you talking about? That's difficult, because it's like, I understand if it was a closed door thing, but we're seeing the gameplay. I can see the dude jump, slash with the sword.
That gameplay that I wasn't in Devil May Cry that I didn't already see in a Bayonetta. Like,
agreed. No.
When I first saw that trailer, I was like, holy shit. The vast size of the monsters made me think PlayStation. It actually made me think a Sony game. And the only reason I wanted to play that game was because I thought it would fill a void that I've been missing, which is those Japanese type games. I was thinking Shadow of Colossus. I was thinking, it feels like a Japanese game. I mean, it just is. I've told you this before. You can tell when a game is developed on the Eastern Hemisphere. But anyway, the point is, that's what I was attracted to. Now, honestly, I have a Sony PlayStation, I can play those kind of games now, so that lost some of the luster. But then when I saw the gameplay, there was nothing there innovative. There was nothing there to me that wasn't just a hack and slash. It was big, gigantic monsters. It was a cool set piece, maybe, a cool character model. But the gameplay looked boring as hell to me. And it was going to be really hard to
hold on.
The whole... I mean, Japanese games I'm not attracted to them.
Okay.
Why the hell does the guy have headset while fighting dragons? Why does he have an MP3 player? Well,
yeah, that's what I like to know.
But now we're criticizing art direction. We're criticizing art direction. That's like me criticizing Horizon Dawn for some of the things.
Criticizing the game, because what I was asking for was, what are your impressions of the game? How do you guys feel about it? And I'm telling you, I was not impressed.
I'm just saying that to say you're not impressed is like saying I'm not impressed by Bayonetta because it's just a hack and slash. I played it 1,000 times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's actually exactly what I said. I've never bought a Bayonetta.
Okay.
Did you read any of the impressions from ScaleGone coming out of E3? Did you actually sit there? Because I encourage you all to go on Google and just type in ScaleGone impressions. The very first link that I get, the article title is ScaleGone's middling reception suggests Platinum has work to do before 2017. This was before the game got canceled. It was announced that it got canceled. The first sentence says ScaleGone looks like they tried to merge gameplay from 3 to 4 games into a single clunky mess. Okay? Now, obviously, this was one NeoGaf poster who had played the game at E3. You take that with a grain of salt because it's NeoGaf, but this is consistent with what credible people have said from IGN. I can go.
Okay.
Actually.
So,
Neil, what did you like about the game?
So let's say.
What did you like about the game? Why were you excited about the graphics?
I like the art style. I like the gameplay. I like the gameplay mechanic.
Didn't play it.
What about the gameplay?
What do you mean? I saw the trailer. That's like.
Well, yeah. Go ahead, tell me, Neil. What about the gameplay did you like?
Okay, the hack and slash, a bit of it. The bit that where you can also use your bow and arrow. The bit that you can integrate with your dragon. I also saw aspects of RPG. I mean, there was also supposed to be a multiplayer. I didn't see that, but I knew that. You know, I mean, I thought that it was an interesting game. I think that you guys are first off being way too harsh on a game that was still in development. I mean, it's kind of like saying,
it's almost done.
It's like, how impressionable are you if two people that review a game in demo say that it's clunky and you say, oh my god, this game is terrible, that's done.
No. I never said the game was terrible as a result. I said that the writing was on the wall for this to be another low-budget, exclusive title that would be solid. I think if they had ironed out those little kinks, frame rate issues, I'm sure they would have.
Who's to say that they wouldn't have? And don't drop in frame rate. Don't drop in frame rate as it, because it lends to the graphics argument. Give me something else.
Sure. Okay, sure. If there are a bunch of different elements in a game, like Recore, right, you end up with a solid title that doesn't do anything particularly great, but it does a lot of things decent.
Okay.
It's like a jack of all trades, master of none. You've heard that, right?
Yeah.
So I think ScaleGone would have been in the same conversation as a Recore. Recore, as you know, kind of came and went, but it's not. I'm not saying that was a bad game, but I'm saying it wouldn't have made a huge splash, like maybe you or others are thinking. I don't think this was the big flagship Xbox One title for the fall. I think if anything, Crackdown is going to be that game. Because I think Crackdown 3, from what I've heard, from people who played it, have said that's an amazing game that might just be a Game of the Year contender
but you're
this year.
I think you're missing the point. To mention Crackdown, right, for the fall, yes, but you got to understand that Scalebound wasn't intended to come out this fall. It was supposed to come out last year, or probably the year before that. There were delays. So you got to keep thinking as well that it's like time, that this wasn't okay, well, we're shooting for 2017 fall. This got delayed, you know.
So then with that logic, then that means the E3 2016 build should have been a lot stronger than it was.
Well, okay, and
if it was almost done, it should have been a lot stronger, but it wasn't. It felt like, from what the impressions were, that it needed to be in development just a little bit longer, maybe a year.
I feel like we saw a different game. But that being said, though,
I saw the same game. I read a different game.
I feel like okay, perfect. That's fine. If you read a different game, but I saw a better game. That being said, though, I feel like it was Platinum Games' fault. And
how's it their fault?
Because look, okay, let me give you a list of games that they've developed. So we all agree the ScaleGone had to have been developed in 2013, right? Had to. Right.
Before you go into your list, though, just let's remember that Platinum has their A team that does their mainline stuff, and then they have their C&D team that does a lot of the movie spin-offs, your Ninja Turtles, your Transformers, and stuff like that. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
So when you say that, perfect, because right now Platinum released Bayonetta 2, they released Legend of Korra, Transformers Devastation, Star Fox Zero, Star Fox Guard, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Nier, and 2 random games that I never heard of. Do you want to know what's the only game there that sounds like it was done by the A team? Bayonetta 2. There was a lot of trash in the last 4 years coming from Platinum Games.
Hold on. Nier, I just played the demo, is good. Transformers was good.
Transformers plays on my nostalgia. It plays on your lovely Nintendo. Oh my god, this is the game that I used to play when I was a little kid, and it's amazing. And then I stop it. And then I stop it. Okay? That being said, Platinum Game has come out with a lot of subpar games as of late. Their big hits, Bayonetta 2 and maybe Metal Gear Rising, you know. But now, if you look at let's take a step back from the quality of the games. I just named for you almost like 8 to 10 games that they've released in the time that Scalebound should have been developed and completed. Going against your A and B and C and D teams comment, I feel like they had C and D teams working on this game, and that's why it wasn't done.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that was by their A and B teams, and that's why I think it's such a big deal, because if they had their A teams on it and then it still turned out where Microsoft wasn't satisfied, it's like, what was really going on there?
So whose fault is it though? Because I mean, to use your argument, right? If it was A and B teams, Sonic thinks that it was a bad game. So that means that the A and B teams of Platinum came up with a crappy product.
Listen, this is, and I hate to say it because I'm going to open up Pandora's box here, but I think it was Microsoft's fault because the Xbox One is so underpowered and Scalebound is such an ambitious title that I think it just got to the point where they were squeezing every last bit of power out of that Xbox One and trying to get it to run. That's the majority of the development time. I don't know for sure.
So this is where you turn graphics whore again and try to build an entire argument based on performance and graphics.
We're talking about development, right? We're talking about the development cycle, time spent, right? I'm saying majority of the time may have been, this is just me speculating, may have been spent on just trying to get the vision of their game to run on a console like that.
To run on a console like that.
With no problem.
So you're telling me MS trashes the game because they can't even hit 720p? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm saying it's indirectly Microsoft's fault for shipping a console that underpowered.
Yeah, what has Platinum Games done for us to give them the benefit of the doubt? Like,
that's what I just said.
Bayonetta.
Not a damn thing. They haven't done anything.
Look, Bayonetta.
They make really big character models that look pretty and look Japanese. I mean, the only people that are suffering are the people that only own Microsoft products who want to play Japanese games. Those are the only people that are suffering. From what we're getting from most people, they're disappointed or it's a meh. The people that are really pissed off about this are all Sony people. Because the pre-order for this game never happened. There isn't a huge outlandish cry for this game now that it's been canceled. The people that are hating on it are people like us, the pundits, and the people that are Sony fanboys who want to be able to bury Microsoft. But at the end of the day, Platinum hasn't done anything for us to feel like we're missing out on some huge game. Here's the other thing, is Microsoft is in the business of making money. Okay, they want to succeed. So for them to say, I've been paying for development for a year and a half, we postponed this thing once publicly, but twice supposedly, but it was postponed once. That means that they see it, and what they get is not what they expect.
Yeah.
For them to say, I spent so much money for a year and a half, and still saying, I'm done. I'm wrapping this up. I don't want to invest any more money on your product. We're not giving you another cent. You guys are shut down, and this game is shut down. To me, that tells me more about the developer. There's something going on at Platinum Games. And again, I go back to the fact that why the hell are lead developers taking a month off? And the guy who's supposedly done the good parts of Platinum Games left a year ago because of, again, work, stress,
yeah,
work,
man.
whatever.
I mean,
that sounds to me like a them problem. So even though I'm not all gung-ho for Microsoft...
How are you going to spin this one? How are you going to spin this one?
Or the stressful work environment is a result of the publisher expecting too much and pushing them to push this game out the door at a particular time.
Okay,
so
4 years of development. We're talking about 4 years right now. That's talking about a whole major publisher game release. 4 years of development. I mean, come on, man.
This game was ambitious, dude. This is a really ambitious title.
But
but hold on, it was ambitious, but it didn't impress you.
It's not ambitious, right? The gameplay did nothing, man. The
but that's what
was so bare bones.
It can't be ambitious, and then all of a sudden you say, "I read a lot of disappointment." I mean,
exactly.
you're contradicting yourself.
I'm not. Listen, Platinum Games, I think, tried to make the best possible game they could. Absolutely,
sure they did. They tried.
I think we're not giving enough. We're not putting enough stock into Microsoft's role in all of this. Microsoft isn't just a silent partner that gives them money. They're very much integrated in the development process. And they have influence. Now, Microsoft has not shown a good track record of working with Japanese developers. So I have to believe that at this point, Microsoft didn't do all that they could to perhaps be at every checkpoint for the game, to perhaps help their developers.
So hold on. So you're spinning this.
I don't think that they positioned them to succeed.
So Microsoft has to help the developer do the development, and you're saying that they didn't help the developer enough.
Yes.
So what you're telling me is that Microsoft needs to pay the developer, pay for marketing, pay for all of that resources for 4 years, and then also do help more for development. I mean, come on, at some point.
But that's what a major publisher does. Do you think that Microsoft is just a bank?
No, but I think that you are assuming that they didn't help enough. And what you're doing is you're trying to absolve Platinum Games of a subpar product in your eyes and trying to shift the blame to Microsoft.
Yes, absolutely.
But I just so what happened to Star Fox? Because Platinum also worked on that. So do we want to say that Nintendo did a shitty job of helping them?
I actually really liked the game. I actually really enjoyed that game.
So let's say Legend of Korra. Let's say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Let's say The Lost Order. Let's say Nier Automata. I mean,
Nier Automata is great. What are you talking about? I played the demo. It's fantastic.
You played the demo.
Okay.
It wasn't good enough to make you buy it.
Yes, actually, yes. Actually, yes. Because here's the thing. Platinum Games is also, I will give you your point about Platinum being inconsistent. I will give you that. They are one of the more inconsistent development houses out there, because you look at games like they produce games like Vanquish and Bayonetta, but for every Bayonetta and Vanquish there's Legend of Korra and then there's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So they're very hit or miss. I think ScaleGone may have been, it looks like, based on the idea and the concept of it, it was developed by their A team, and as a result, I don't see their A team, the same guys who did, and they also did Wonderful 101, which is also a solid game. I don't see that team being, producing a product that didn't live up to its expectations from a gameplay perspective. I don't believe that, because they're always so solid.
I feel like
you're Nintendo in that respect.
Yeah, but who's to say that they couldn't? What's the only issue with the Xbox? Let's say it's horsepower, right? So dumb down the resolution. I really don't think that Microsoft would say we're nixing this whole game because it can't hit 720p.
It's not about resolution.
I don't know about that. Like if it couldn't hit 720p.
No. I'm using that. But I'm using that as a springboard, because if he's saying that is the Xbox the subpar system, let's assume they couldn't hit 720p or they couldn't hit 900p. Do you think Microsoft would cancel if they couldn't hit that?
You're talking about resolution.
Yeah, but if 900...
Cancel the game?
Yeah.
If you're if you're talking about resolution, I don't think that has any bearing on this. I think it's frame rate number one, first and foremost.
Okay.
If you're getting wild dips, that affects gameplay, and Platinum is not about to risk their reputation of being one of the best designers of gameplay, and neuter their experience to hit 30 FPS. If anything, I would think they're trying to hit something higher than that. And if they couldn't get the game to run at 30, then that tells you a lot. That tells you a lot about the system that they're having to work with.
Did they ever say something about 30 frames per second?
No.
Did that ever come up?
No.
How about the whole 720, 900?
No.
Has resolution ever? How did it become about graphics? Everything goes back. It's not. Nothing to do with graphics, guys. Platinum Games has done Avatar and Transformers. You know what they're good at? You press buttons and shit happens. It's games that appeal to young fans because there's not much to it. ScaleGone looked like something different, which was why I excited. But when you look at it, at the end of the day, they didn't show me any innovative features. So I go back to Legend of Korra and Transformers and Ninja Turtle games. These are super simple games.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a cash grab for me. I'm not giving them any benefit of the doubt. I want Microsoft to succeed with a Japanese company. Here's the other problem too: is that it's a two-way street. A Japanese developer can use Microsoft as a scapegoat because they don't want Microsoft over there.
Exactly.
So it's very easy for them to say, you know what? Hold up. This was Microsoft. You know how they are over there. And the Eastern Hemisphere will take that story, and that's what happened. So Platinum Games will not be affected. Their stock will not be hurt in the Eastern Hemisphere. Will not be hurt. It will be here. We do not trust them anymore here. Their relationship with Microsoft is incredibly damaged. No more dumb Avatar Korra games. You can forget about that kind of stuff. So, listen, does Microsoft play a part in this? Yes. Maybe they should have canceled development on this a year ago. They should have seen this a while ago, because they did put a lot of money into this. They did invest. And even the stuff, Sonic, a lot of what you're saying is true when it comes to they have to support the developer, right? They have to give the money for the marketing, this and that. I can tell you that a lot of times the producer gives the marketing money to the developer, and the developers are actually in charge of contracting out a marketing team. So sometimes even the marketing is the developer's problem. You know, probably not in this case because this is the Western Hemisphere. But Platinum would have picked their games in Japan the way Microsoft would have picked this game here. So at this point, even though I would love to say this is Microsoft's problem because I want to see a Japanese game on their system, I'm going to actually give them the benefit of the doubt. Because Platinum hasn't done shit. Like I said, there's no innovative gameplay that they've ever shown me. And I see this trailer, I want to get excited, but no, man, it's just really cool character models. That's all it is, just cool. A cool leather jacket with cool Beats headphones. I don't know, man.
You guys are completely oblivious to the dragons? The dragons.
No, well, listen, I think.
The Pixar movie, How to Train Your Dragons, they just made it into a game.
Yes.
Right. See, so I think you're discounting Platinum Games as a developer. If you've played Bayonetta 1 and 2, if you've played Vanquish, you know that they like to push the envelope in gameplay, and I think they do a lot of revolutionary things. The reason you don't see it being adopted as much is because I just think other developers can't do what they do. They just have perfected it.
Listen. If they could get Bayonetta,
they just can't do what they do.
If they could get Bayonetta running on the 360,
but I'll say this much: in Bayonetta, because it's true, man. I haven't beat both of them like you have. To me, I thought that game. When you say the single lasting factor about Bayonetta is art design and art style. Like the actual gameplay itself, wouldn't you say it's simple? It's the way that they present it to you that makes it sexy.
No. What I said is it's simple, but it's difficult to master. It's one of those games you can mash one button and you can beat it on like a normal difficulty setting, but as soon as you move up, you've got to master the combat. And I
don't doubt that. I think ScaleGone would have been more of that. And all I'm saying is that's not innovative. And once I saw that, I don't like the Bayonetta series.
Honestly. But I don't even think it was a button masher. I mean, I don't know. I think, but look, ultimately, I think that this is gonna rain really bad on Xbox. Man, I am the first person to be like Team Xbox. But like, it's 2017.
This is not gonna mean anything.
It's gonna be brutal. It's gonna be brutal,
bro. By the time E3 rolls around, you know what we're gonna be talking about?
We're gonna be talking about 2018 and 2019 and what a loss 2017 is gonna be.
What? Are you kidding? This might be. Hold on. This is a whole other conversation. This is probably worth having another episode. This might be Microsoft's best year yet.
Why?
Because
hold on. For why? Why?
Wow.
Why?
Hold on. Look. Scorpio's releasing this year.
With what games? With what games?
Okay, you ready? Crackdown 3. This is what we know already. Crackdown 3, Sea of Thieves, right?
Sea of Thieves. Pirates.
It's like an indie game.
It's not an indie game. It's developed by Rare. Great impressions from what I've heard. It's an MMO.
Yes, because in every trailer.
Rare of old though. This is like the new Rare.
Yeah, every trailer you have, there are people saying, "Oh my God, this game is so fun." It's like, come on, man.
Phenomenal.
They pulled out the pirate ship game in Assassin's Creed 4 and made a whole game around it, and that's it.
Touche. This guy knows what he's talking about.
Sea of Thieves is a different beast. It's a different beast. It's an MMO. It's a huge world. You can explore with your friends. There's puzzles. This might actually be up Smooth Alley. When you see more footage of this, then you might be like really hyped about it.
I'm worried about that game. It's going to be a micromanagement game.
Yes, it's like Little Big Planet.
Just because it looks like Wind Waker doesn't mean I'm automatically gonna like it. Like just because it has a cel shaded style.
So you got Halo Wars, which I'm indifferent.
Seriously, right now.
For, but the biggest game this year, I think Halo 6 is gonna launch day and date with the Scorpio. I think Halo's because it's been 2.5 years since Halo 5. I think Halo 6 is coming. I think it's gonna be huge. It's going to launch with the Scorpio, and it's also going to.
What does that do for? Oh, you think it's going to launch with the Scorpio?
Yes.
In 2017?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
A game that hasn't been announced.
It will be announced at E3.
Man, you're setting yourself up to be really disappointed, man.
Listen. Do you remember?
Reveals.
When did they announce Halo 4? Do you remember when they had the trailer with the whole sand thing, and then the shit came out of the sand, and Master Chief had the cloak? That was like 3 years before the game came out.
They're saving. Listen, they're saving a bunch of games for E3 because they want to treat.
Because what?
I think I read somewhere that they want to treat the Scorpio like a new console launch. So because of that, they're going to be announcing some games, some heavy hitters, besides what we know already to launch day and date with the Scorpio. Because they're going to treat this like a launch. That's opposite of what Sony did for the Pro. Sony didn't treat this like a new launch. They kind of just dropped it. You know what I'm saying? The Scorpio is going to have a heavy amount of marketing behind it. I think they're going to do the messaging right. And
why would they do that? Okay. So let's say they treat it as a launch, right? So now you have a group. You have 25 million is that number of Xbox One owners, right? You still have to cater Halo 6 to the Xbox One owners because there's 25 million of them. You're not going to sell. You're not going to sell 25 million Scorpios in a year.
Absolutely not. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that from both a PR and sales perspective.
Why wouldn't they announce it now?
So what he's saying is they should pull a Zelda where you're releasing it on the Xbox One, but then also getting it on the Scorpio as well with some better textures or whatever else, and spin it that way.
But what I'm saying is, and that's fine. But when was Zelda announced?
2014.
All right, and you're telling me that they're gonna announce Halo 6 now?
No. Nintendo. First of all, Nintendo is not Microsoft. Nintendo will announce that they greenlit a project the moment they do it, and then they make the fans wait 4 or 5 years for a title. So Microsoft's not like that. Microsoft, I think, is going to play it really smart this year with the Scorpio. They've learned so much from the Xbox One, and I love Phil Spencer. I love what he's been doing for the brand. So I think he's going to do it right. He's going to announce Halo 6 to launch in November, day and date with the Scorpio. You heard it here first on 3 Minute Babyface. You heard it here first. Halo 6 will launch with the Xbox Scorpio along with Crackdown 3. And you're...
Jesus, you are setting yourself up.
In 2017.
You are setting yourself up for such a mega failure. Like, you know what? I think that this is some kind of reverse trolling. This is some kind of... This just doesn't sound right.
Maybe. I'm surprised you're not so optimistic. I'm surprised.
No, man.
Everything that they've learned about the Xbox One, all of the failures that they've had, you don't think they're going to treat this like a brand? This is a do-over for them.
Do you want to know how I feel right now? You want to know how I feel right now? Do you remember the night of the election when you started to look at the polls and you said, oh, shit, Trump's really going to win? He's really going to win? That feeling in your stomach? That's how I'm getting right now in terms of the Sony versus Xbox and the outlook.
Sonic, let me burst your bubble a little bit, man. When Halo gets announced, Halo is a marketing beast. Halo has a whole company to market it. They will have years of marketing.
Yes.
Okay, they're going to give us, like Neil said, the cloak over the face in the desert that had nothing to do with the game.
Yes.
Nothing. That was literally something put together by some marketing team the day after they got hired because it had nothing to do with the game. So what I'm saying is we're going to get a reveal before there's any development, just like that. And what we see means nothing. You might be underwater, no longer. It doesn't matter. So nah, man, don't set
this
yourself up.
This is not consistent with what Phil Spencer and the Xbox team has been saying
I understand.
about Halo every year. They're talking.
Halo Wars 2 is a Halo game. That's the first thing.
Fair
and
point.
second of all, you're right. If they came out with a Halo game, it would do all the things that you're saying. If Halo 6 comes out, everything you said will happen. But what I'm saying is, we didn't get the leaks of, Microsoft is looking for developers that have worked on Halo 5. We're not getting any of that. Second of all, think about this. Halo 5 was not the success it should have been. You know what I mean? Like, it was great, but it wasn't Game of the Year. It wasn't, like, universally loved. A lot of people say that it was, top 2 or 3 of the Halos, right?
So they got to do better.
No, and they're still supporting it. They're still supporting that game. They're still adding, like, content to that game. It's not like
there's no way that to accomplish Sonic's theory of making sure that the Scorpio comes out with that Halo game, to accomplish that, they would have to speed up and do things very quickly, and Halo is not the game to do that, especially considering Halo 5. Halo 6 needs to be a multi-year effort. It needs to be their flagship, because it is, and Gears of War is slowly taking over that. In my eyes, Gears of War is, right now, their flagship enterprise, if you ask me. Gears of War killed it. So they need to do that with...
oh, come on, man. Gears 4 smokes Halo 5 out the park.
In terms of what?
In terms of campaign. The multiplayer
Okay,
following,
yeah, okay,
I won't argue the
multiplayer.
multiplayer following of Halo, but I'm telling you, the campaign of Gears was leaps and bounds funner and more entertaining than the Halo campaign.
Sure, but okay, I'm looking at it from Microsoft's perspective. Halo makes them more money than Gears. Makes them way more money than Gears. And I think
So why would they, agreed, but why would they announce it? Why would they give you a 3 month PR window, marketing window, and say, hey, we're going to announce this in E3 for fall?
it's the same reason they have a 3 month PR window for a console, for a new console.
No, that's only Nintendo. Let's be real. That's only Nintendo.
No, but you know what? This might be a case study, Nintendo Switch, and I know all roads lead back to Nintendo, but the Switch, to me, I think the way they positioned it, the way they announced it, was very smart. They didn't announce it a year in advance or a year and a half in advance, and then had the hype die down. This is like concentrated hype for a solid 3 months straight. They had an initial reveal last year, or the trailer, then you had a direct, and then you have demo units going around the country, people are playing it, and then they can buy it right there. I think that's a smarter way to position a product than announcing it a year and a half in advance and then having this slow hype
The part that you're missing, is that you announce it a year and a half in advance, so you still sell Xbox Ones in that meantime, because people are saying, yo, I gotta get it. I'm gonna get it eventually for Halo, so I might as well get it now. And then they can sell Xbox Ones in the meantime. Or what would you rather have? Them announce it with such a short window that they don't sell any Xbox Ones in the meantime?
But that's what they always do.
Hold on. I think there's a difference between a brand new generation launch versus a mid-cycle refresh. So Scorpio, for all intents and purposes, the way it's been positioned right now, is a mid-cycle refresh, not a brand new console. So this is like your new Nintendo 3DS.
I don't know.
But it's still playing a lot of the same games.
I don't know.
Versus now, the question is, will they still keep it as a mid-cycle, or will they say, you know what, this is the way this is going, this needs to be the next Xbox type of thing?
I mean, I don't want to say a mid-cycle. With the horsepower and the specs that Scorpio has, it is well beyond the PS4 Pro, and I feel like it's going to be a significant boost. Now,
what I'm saying is how they were positioning it. Like, it, to me, and on paper, it looks like it's enough. It can be like the Xbox 2 or 720 or whatever number we're up to now, but they're not spinning it that way.
Yet, I think if this is a huge upgrade over the Xbox One, they will treat this like a new console.
All right.
The reason why the PS4 Pro didn't get that huge console launch because it was an insignificant upgrade from the PS4. If this is a big jump and you're playing games at native 4K, 60 frames a second, and you're getting significant graphic increases, then believe me, this will be treated like the Xbox One or Xbox 360 launch. Times Square will be shut down. You're going to see Phil Spencer selling the first Xbox Scorpio. It's going to be a big thing. And believe me, they're not going to launch that console without at least two heavy hitters.
But hold on.
I think
let me just bring this back just a second, right? So we're betting this whole conversation on Scorpio and Halo being announced at E3, right?
Okay, I'm gonna pivot my position just a little bit, and I'm gonna say we will be playing Halo 6 in some form this fall, whether it's a beta, a demo, whatever the case may be. We're gonna be playing the next Halo this fall.
So now that you're pivoting, how's your outlook? How's your outlook for Xbox then?
The same.
Is positive.
Very. Because and not to mention, we haven't even talked about how games that are out right now are going to improve. With
Listen. I'm drinking water right now. I know that you're drinking some kind of good Xbox Kool-Aid. Give me some.
No.
Give me some, please.
I'll give you some. Let me tell you something. Gears 4 this fall will be running in native 4K. Forza Horizon 3 will be running in native 4K. So just think about how they're going to reposition existing games running on the Scorpio. Just imagine that. I'm going to tell you right now, this fall you're probably going to see repackaged Forza Horizon 3 with all the DLC running on the Scorpio in native 4K. You're going to see a redesigned package for Gears 4. You're going to see Crackdown 3. You're going to see Sea of Thieves, and there might be a handful more titles that they announced at E3 that I'm not even thinking about at the moment. But this is going to be an incredible year for them because they're in position to do so. They've got a new console, and they've got a handful of solid exclusives, and there's stuff that we don't know yet.
So you're pitching me. You're pitching me on the PS4 Pro. Buy all of the games that already play on the PS4.
Yeah. Well, think of it this way: Sony. You can't compare Sony's marketing and Microsoft's. In my opinion, I think Microsoft has a much stronger marketing presence than Sony does. And this is evident by the Xbox One launch, where you saw commercials like crazy for the Xbox.
Yes, Sony has a better marketing team, right? They make those ill-ass commercials with the ill dubstep music and hip-hop stuff. Sony does great marketing. There's no doubt about that. Sony's good at what they do, man. Better than Microsoft. Maybe we like it more here because we're American and Microsoft's team is based out of here. But no, man, they're better at the marketing. I want to hear from Smooth because Smooth is really quiet. Smooth, tell me, all right? I think Sonic is incredibly optimistic. No. He is damn near trolling to the up extreme. He's only setting himself up so that he can come back in October and tell us how badly Microsoft crashed and why he wants to sell only PlayStation.
Exactly.
Why does everything have to have an
Exactly.
Why can't I just be positive? Why can't I be positive?
So bring it back to reality, please, Mr. Reasonable. Tell us.
I think, like I was saying earlier, this is bad for the rest of the year for Microsoft. They really don't have a lot of exclusives left. I don't think they're going to hit it out the park at E3. I think Scorpio is going to get delayed until 2018, and that's where we might see some new things. But the rest of 2017, the outlook is not looking good.
Neo, you are bobbing your head. You've already jumped ship. You're done with Microsoft. You just don't want to admit it to everyone. You're officially with the Sony troop. Tell us. Why Microsoft? Why this is the year you will be Microsoft forever?
I feel like some of the multiplayer games will keep me on Microsoft, but man, I'm at the edge. I'm at the edge, and I'm ready to jump. I feel like that I'm gonna jump, and there's like a nice cushion called Sony that they're just ready to take me and embrace me.
Sonic, school me on Sony's outlook. What are the games, because you threw out a bunch of Microsoft games, what are the Sony games we need to look out for?
So I know you have...
Exactly. So what I'm getting at is that this is not the year for new IPs.
Hold on. You got God of War. You have Horizon, which comes out...
Okay, wait, you're right. I'm sorry. God of War.
You have Gran Turismo. You have, first of all, Gravity Rush 2, I think, comes out this Tuesday. That looks like a solid game. You have Nier Automata. You have
wait a second, guys.
3.
Okay, there we go. Let's get back to the AAA stuff.
All right, there you go. And then there's stuff that we don't know yet.
So hold on. So I just don't understand how you can name all those games. Look, Spider-Man 2. How can you name all those games for Sony? And then when it comes to naming Xbox, you might have 2. And say that Xbox has a great outlook, and Sony, and just like Sony does.
I'm not saying. Hold on. I'm not saying that this is going to be better or worse than Sony. I'm saying that this is going to be a great year for Xbox. That's all I'm saying. Within the context of Xbox.
In the context of ScaleGone or whatever, we all agree on one thing. This isn't positive news for Microsoft. A couple of us, me and Neo, we kind of think that maybe it really belongs more on the Japanese developer, but nonetheless, even me and him will agree that it doesn't matter because the story over there is going to be different than the story here. So nonetheless, I feel like Microsoft here as North Americans will remain untouched. And there's 3 of us that believe that. Smooth is the one guy that's kind of saying, no, this is pretty much the beginning of the end. He sees the finish line, and the finish line has been laid out. It's called the Scorpio. Where we all differ, the big difference here is, I think we all agree that ScaleGone has hurt Microsoft. But Sonic, not that it's hurt Microsoft, but that's not a big deal. Sonic is saying that actually the outlook is bright. Sonic is telling us that we need to look forward to it. And this is, guys, for you guys at home, if you don't know my man Sonic, this is what we love about him. He is the positive gamer. He sees